video, I want to talk a little bit about investing in one's own storyline. And specifically, what I want to bring up in this video is a common human tendency, especially if there are difficulties in your life, this mental programming that we can get into that I want to call investing in your own tragedy. So often it's important to realize that when we're going through whatever we're facing in terms of obstacles, whether that's a health issue, whether that's, a life issue, a divorce, a situation in terms of finances, whatever that obstacle is, so often when we are resonating or vibrating at these lower echelons of, again, the lower vibrational frequencies, we're tending to align ourselves energetically with this timeline or storyline of the tragedy. And it's important to realize that we gain something from this. When we are vibrationally in alignment with our own tale of tragedy, there is a reason that our consciousness is staying at that vibration, because nobody, in terms of human interconnection and what we get in terms of our external reality, human beings will never go to something or stay in a pattern that doesn't, to some degree, offer them some sort of residual benefit, okay? What the benefit that individuals that are essentially settling at this lower vibrational frequency get from investing in their own tragic tale is sympathy. So the confusion or the distortion that the ego has created in attaching itself to one's own tragic circumstances is an emotional reverberation of feeling that it's a way to connect to their external world through this sympathetic response. So when they're talking with others, when they're even ruminating or imagining out, picturing their own experience, they're playing out this tragic tale in their heads, and it's providing them the feeling that you get when you watch a movie and it's, a sad story. There's still something emotionally that goes on within the human being in terms of a certain energetic, I want to call it entertainment or energetic valuation of this that feels sometimes quite real, quite alive, and in a weird, twisted kind of way, quite good. This is why there's so many, classic Shakespearean tales or these, Hollywood stories of the tragedy are still something to this day that we very much enjoy watching. There is something that grabs you from a soul level when you are immersed in that tragedy or those tragic circumstances. You're getting to play a certain part when you become that tragic victim. But this is exactly why I'm making this video, because truly, as much as one can go through this, tragic, sad suffering, it's not the highest expression of a life. And I know if you are listening to this video, you're not going to like what I have to say about this, but it is accurate. And we are always the causation of our own circumstances. I know this very much from my own experience, and I know this due to the experience I've had with hundreds of clients, and I've seen the difference between an individual that decides that they will not accept a tragic circumstance as their unfoldment or as their future reality, comparatively to the client that is okay with whatever tragedy is coming their way and seems to just immerse themselves in their own dire consequences or dire circumstances and allows it to become their, their eventual ending, or they allow this kind of macabre scene to play out for them, and they're quite comfortable with it. Because remember, from the tragedy, from the pain, the suffering, what will happen in terms of those around you is usually you'll find that there is still a reflection of love back from those tragic circumstances. People will rally around you, they'll want to help you, they'll reach out more, because again, you're in these circumstances that many have compassion for. So that is the looping or the residual benefit to kind of staying within these, or within the storyline or timeline of your own tragedy. Now, once you start to realize that this is the vibrational frequency that you are sending out, and once you start out picturing a successful recovery or a different type of life, you start taking action to create it. When your dominant vibrational frequency becomes something other than, continually resonating or residing in this low vibration, not only do you take action, but you stop taking any residual benefits from investing in your own miserable story. So yes, you have to forego the compassion, the conversations, that element of love you may get from others because they see your circumstances. You up-level yourself. You accept a different circumstance or a different outcome. And that means that you will fundamentally have to change. You will fundamentally not be investing anymore in your own tragic outcome. So this might mean that you have to take certain actions. If this is a medical condition, you might have to start working out, stretching, taking supplements, doing that mindfulness, meditation, thinking about your thoughts, eating better, engaging in more high vibrational activities, not believing a negative outcome. This is the most difficult one, is having this beautiful belief that a beautiful outcome is in front of you. Because here's the thing, it doesn't matter if it's terminal cancer, some sort of autoimmune disease. The individual that utilizes the power of their mind and decides that they're going to get better, decides they're going to beat it, decides that the outcome, they're going to be that 1%, those are the individuals that become the 1%. And it's not an accident. It is that acclamation of the mind projecting itself out into that future outcome and deciding what that future outcome is going to be for them, and then owning it and taking the steps towards it. And I don't care what it is. Like I said, maybe it's a financial roadblock. Those who marinate themselves in a life of poverty, in a life of lack, in this idea that it always happens for the other guy and I'm unlucky, you are only sending out that vibration. And through that, it's not just vibrational, your actions will mimic your thought patterns. So you're going to do the things that reinforce the fact that you have a belief that you're unlucky, it's not going to happen for you. So I might as well just smoke a joint and play video games all day because I'm not that person. But if you become that 1% of the population, or that 3% of the population, you're going to be taking altogether different actions. You're going to be taking on 2 or 3 jobs. You're going to be saving money. You're going to be getting up at 4 a.m. You're going to be doing all of those little things that tell the universe, that tell the world, you are that person that's going to make it. And you know what's going to happen due to your actions, due to your beliefs? You're setting yourself on a different timeline, a different trajectory to that beautiful outcome that you are out picturing. So this is the point where it becomes your decision. Do you want to go left or do you want to go right? Do you want to invest in your own tragic current situation, or do you want to become that person that defies all the odds, that is the creator of your own destiny and has absolute belief that you are going to create the life you've always dreamed of? Now, again, I know if you are sitting in a space or a mental space or a circumstance where this doesn't seem possible, It might seem a little bit frustrating to hear this, but I know myself, there was a time where I did invest in my own tragic story. And what that created was I bought into that timeline. I did all of the things that a sick person would do. I didn't believe there was anything better for me. Similarly, when I was in a situation where I had gone bankrupt, lost my house, I bought into the story that good things don't happen for me. And I created more of that, more of those tragic circumstances until I decided to deliberately change the framework of my mind, my belief system, and the belief system in who and what I was. And it is so amazing, the transformation I've seen in my life when I started to invest in the storyline of me being a successful, healthy, vibrant person that could manifest and attract absolutely anything I wanted into my environment. So I know I'm living proof of this really minor adjustment. It's a major adjustment because it takes practice. It's these continual mental exercises of becoming expectant of good things and really valuing your own energy in a way that the story that you write through your visualization and through your imagination is only an epic tale of adventure, of beauty, of joy and happiness, peace, health, prosperity. But why not imagine that life for yourself, and why not claim it and live it? All right, I'm going to wrap up this video, but I hope you are all having a very beautiful weekend, and we'll see you in the next video.